Alright guys, got some good information for you guys. You're going to want to grab a pen and a paper, and I'm going to go through my official offense and defense for this season. Alright guys, this is going to be amazing. And let's just start off by saying I think that my favorite team that I'm going to use for this season is going to be the Cowboys, because they're just my favorite team. I'm a Cowboys fan. I know guys hate on the Cowboys, but here is the playbooks that I'm going to be running out of. The multiple defense and the West Coast offense. So these two are the formations. Check out, you're gonna, like I said before, grab a pencil and write these plays down. We're going to explain to you in very good detail what all these plays do. Okay? Got about 14 minutes to explain this, so let's get into it. First off, I'm going to set the audibles for you guys real quick. We're not going to run the Alpha Twins now. I'm going to show you how to do it from the Far Pro Kite tool. No, I'm going to show you the bunch. Yeah. We'll do the bunch this season because the Cowboys have good receivers, so you're going to want to grab a notebook, like I said, and take a look at this. Alright, we're going to go with this wide receiver post. Okay. You're going to need that wide receiver post. You're going to need the draw. You're going to need the halfback out, the verticals, and the slot clear out. Clear out, SE out. Okay. So let's get into this. Okay. We'll come back to these two plays. For now, I want you to look at these three plays. Okay, we're just going to keep the cursor in the middle. Let's talk about the verticals. Okay? The verticals, guys, is your base. That's kind of like your pawn play, you know, and match it like chess. I like to play Madden, play football like chess. And this is your play that you're going to use to set up everything else. Okay? So the verticals, let's take a look at the routes. You've got the circle receiver and the triangle receiver. They're doing like a sluggo, and then the X receiver is doing like a little straight post route, and the square receiver is doing a streak. Your first read on this play is the circle receiver. Between the circle, you're going to look to the circle receiver and the triangle receiver, and if they are in zone, one of those two guys are going to pop open every single time. If neither one of those guys are open, then look to the X receiver. The X receiver will 9 times out of 10 be open. If none of these guys are open, then look to see if the square receiver has beat his guy, and if not, just dump it down to the L1 receiver. You should have enough time to do that. But by that time, one of those three receivers in the bunch is going to be open, guys. I'm just telling you from experience. Okay? This is my play when I need big plays. Okay? I'm going to show you how to set up the roster too, and see. We're going to have to make sure that we get time. We'll do the offense, and then we'll do an offense, and then we'll do a defensive guide. So we'll do the defense in a separate video. But anyways, it's clear out. Okay, this play is going to be great for man coverage. So if you're telling yourself, I think he's in man, well, if you see the safeties drop down, 9 times out of 10 they're in man. If both safeties come down, now if just one safety, then they'll be in zone. But if both safeties come down, they're probably in man. This play, you're going. There's only 2 receivers I look to at this play. I look to the X receiver, and I look to the circle receivers. Now, if they confuse you and they happen to be in a zone, the X receiver is going to hook in between the zone, and you can just hit him for a 5-yard gain. If they are in man, Then your circle receiver is going to be someone fast. We'll show you with the Cowboys how we're going to do that. But your circle receiver is going to be your deep threat. You're going to hit him. 9 times out of 10, he'll outrun his coverage. If not, say Namdi's guarding him, then the X receiver will make a quick out route, and you want to hit him there. Okay, so these 2 plays are your main plays. Okay, but you really don't need anything else other than these 2 plays. But we want to universalize this defense now, or offense. Now, this halfback out. If they're kind of mixing like a man zone, like a 2-man under, or like a cover 1, stuff like that. If they're having zone man defenses, and you're kind of reading that, and you're kind of reading like, say you think he's in like a 2-man under, or a cover 1, or he's double teaming that circle receiver, and that X receiver is getting guarded by Namdi or something, this play is going to pay huge dividends. Alright? Your first read on this play is the triangle receiver. That's going to be, for the Cowboys, that's going to be Jason Witten. And 9 times out of 10, he's going to beat his man. Now, if they're in a zone, the circle receiver will sit down in between the 2 zones. Okay? If they're in a man, then either Jason Witten will pop open. If Jason Witten doesn't pop open, for some reason, look to DeMarco Murray out of the backfield on this halfback out. He's going to get free because of that 85 catching, that 70-something route running, okay? What play do I use if it's 3rd and long? 3rd and long, I'm going to go verticals, okay? 3rd and medium, probably going to go with this halfback out. Alright? The draw is your changeup. If he's running a lot of zones, just some heavy zones, serious, like 8-man coverages, just call the draw. And I would recommend calling the draw about 4 or 5 times per drive to establish that fact that you can't just drop everybody out. Okay, oh, my bad, I bumped the button. So there's that. Alright, let's talk about the wide receiver post. This play is for when they're blitzing you. Because that's the only way to really stop this offense, guys, let's be honest. You can't really just make Romo make a mistake. You're going to have to pressure him. So, the wide receiver post, what I like to do in this play is if I'm getting hot pressure, I'm going to start out calling it like it is. And if it's working, then we'll just go with that. Now, if you look at the square receiver, guys, on 3rd down and long, you can sometimes hit him. He's going to be your best route runner. And his route running and all the stuff he's going to do, he's going to get inside of his guy and just create matchups, okay? But if you think that he's just going to break out some blitzes, some nano blitzes, and try and put heat on you, I would recommend looking to the X receiver first and maybe the circle receiver. Okay, one of those guys should pop open. If you are having time, say you're having time and you just want to throw a change up, say he's running like a 2-man under again. I mean, this will work with a 2-man under. This will work with a cover 1. I like to hot route the triangle receiver to a slot, to a corner route. Okay, guys? So, like, the triangle receiver, like a slant out is what it's called. Okay? So that's how we're going to do that. We're going to leave the tailback blocking at all times. Alright, now, that's the plays, guys. Let's get into the roster for the Cowboys offense, and that'll give you guys some more analysis for these plays. The reason, and I'll explain right now, the reason I only run out of 1 set, guys, is because it's more confusing. You guys may think that it's not, but it is. Because you're getting him a heavy dosage of the verticals. Heavy dosage of the verticals. He thinks he knows what you're going to do. All of a sudden you spring a slot clear out on him, and you burn him over the top. Okay, we're going to go with Romo. Now the backup, I've gone back and forth for the backups, and I've decided on Johnny Kitna. Even though McGee's mobile, Kitna's got all that awareness, and you just got to trust the veteran, in my eyes. So we're going to go with DeMarco, and do the backups, guys. Do the backups. No fullback. We have 3 wide receivers, and now this is where we're going to get into this. Your best route runner needs to be your second receiver. Okay, so pay attention to this roster. And if you hear that banging, guys, I apologize. My family's out there cooking some dinner, so I just apologize for that. Got me off track when I was showing you guys this route running. This is how we have it set up. We got Miles Austin at the 2, and that's where the best route runner needs to be for that play. Okay. Now your number 1 receiver needs to be that guy for that slot clear out, and needs to be a game breaker. I'm gonna put Dez there. Okay, because of his acceleration. Okay, Laurent Robinson could still go there, but I'm just gonna say that Laurent Robinson's gonna be that 3 receiver. Because he's going to be doing a lot of sit-down, kind of slot position type routes. And that's where his route running's like right there with Miles Austin. So it's going to be toe-to-toe. I'll be out in a minute. Sorry, guys. Alright, so that's how we're going to do that. The backups, Ogletree, obviously. And then I love this guy right here. A lot of people don't like this guy, but this guy... his stats aren't really good, but look at his strength and his speed. Look at his ability, athleticism. And there we go. And sorry about that noise, guys. I mean, it's so hard to record the games when the family around. But anyways, so that's how we'll do that. Tight end. We're at 11 minutes, guys. The tight end is, of course, going to be Jason Witten. Okay. And now for the offensive line. I'm going to say it. You need your best combination of strength and overall ability. Now, Doug Arkin is going to be the backup because he's basically the next best thing, and he has 90 strength. So let's just set that up real quick. And you guys, if you see my lineman video for the draft, you're going to know that Tyron Smith, you're going to know all about him. This guy is an athlete, and for that draw, we're going to be trying to run off of him. Kosher for the overall, not really anything else there. They just don't have a center, guys. I mean, you're just going to have to deal with it. I mean, you could put Dockery there, but, I mean, this guy's going to do damage with that 90 strength, so that's how we're going to do it. Holland at the left guard, mainly just because of the overall. Okay? But he's got 94 strength, and that's good for that draw. And we're going to go with free here for the overall, mainly. So that's that, and there's the offense. And let's go back to the plays real quick. I want to show you one other thing. When you get inside the 20-yard line, people are saying, what about the red zone? What's your red zone offense? Well, here it is, guys. When you get inside the 20-yard line, I'm just going to say, guys, when you get inside the 20-yard line, it's power versus power. Okay? Now, I like working out of this weak formation. Okay? And you could call any one of these runs and have success. Okay? The stretch, I wouldn't call that really in the red zone. I would call a heavy dosage of the gut, the slants, and the counter weak. You're going to call this gut mainly as your base run. The counter is kind of your change up. The slants is going to be your complement to your run. What I like to do is, you guys all know it, I'm going to hot route the X receiver to a slant out route, just like on the wide receiver post, where I hot route the triangle receiver to a slant out route. Okay, the slip screen is going to play big dividends down in that red zone if you think he's going to bring a blitz. But my favorite play for the red zone is this mesh play. Okay, if you hot route the circle receiver to an out route, block the tight end on the X receiver, block the triangle receiver, basically now you have a 3-man route, but you have a lot of time.
Cody,
right?
who did that to the can opener?
Alright, sorry guys. Anyways, so that's the red zone. The mesh play, that's how we're gonna do it. You're just gonna block the L1 receiver, block the X receiver, hot route the circle receiver to an out route, and then look to your triangle receiver is your first read, your second read is your circle receiver, and then one of those guys is gonna pop open. If they don't pop open, then just call that as, that means that they're gonna be in a heavy zone coverage, and if they're in a heavy zone coverage, you now don't have to block them, and that's gonna mean that the X receiver will be open. So if they're running heavy zones, leave it as it is. If they're blitzing you, go ahead and do the hot routes that I told you. Slot drag, just like the slants, complement to the running play. I would look to the circle receiver, try and hit him really quick because he's going to get underneath first, okay, unless they're pressing up. Play action, bootleg left, that's my favorite pass play out of the set. Basically, if you want to complement your running game, that's what you do. Guys, stay tuned for the defensive video. This has been the offensive video. It's the West Coast book. The bunch week is the main offense, and the week, we use the week in the red zone if we need to. If I don't feel that I need to, I will stay in the bunch. But if I feel that this guy is just being good, then calling a good game, then I will go ahead and call the bunch. And inside the 5, I would recommend just getting to the goal line, guys. Just get to the goal line. At that point, it's all about power football, and y'all know I like to set things up. So, like, I'll call the fullback dive, and then I'll call the strong toss, and then I'll call the sting. So just alternate in between your runs there. That's been the offensive tutorial. Thanks, guys. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Sorry about the noise. Try to get it fixed for the defensive video. Alright, guys. Have a good one.